Hey Sagittarius, how you doing? I thought I would do a reading for your houses while we're waiting for that reading I've done for your solar eclipse on the 14th of December. Waiting for that to pass. I always wanted to do readings for houses. I don't know that anybody else does that, but it's a thing I'm going to stick with. Alternatively to regular readings. And I don't know how familiar you are with your house system or your house placements in your chart, in your birth chart. If you want any help with that, there's information in the description. I'll give brief descriptions now. I've grouped them together because they are connected to each other in groups according to signs, the elements. And I've started with the water story. I can sort of call them stories. So I've got the 12th house, 8th house, and 4th house together. The Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. 12th house, we're going to pull a card for each one, see what's going on in each house. The 12th house is ruled by Neptune, of course, with Pisces, and it is the house, these are the Susan Shepherd Black Moon astrology cards, by the way. I got them for this reason. And 12th house is the house of escape. Shall we say it is the house of dreams, sacrifices, things that you want to do that are larger than life, that are worth risking great things for. Connected to, of course, it is the water energy, it's the psychic energy, it's the bloodline energy, the family roots energy. We have the 8th house in Scorpio, the death, house of death, transformation, primarily transformation, energy, sex, secrets, co-ruled by Pluto and Mars. And the 4th house, Cancer, which is your roots, guides, ancestral ties, but also the roots that you make with people that you care about, that you set, and that's ruled by the moon. Okay, so let's shuffle. Well, let's get some cards flying and see. Okay, they are flying. Very nice. An Ace of Cups, a new opportunity in the 12th house for you, Sagittarius, in your own season. All right, so then what's happening in the related 8th and 4th houses? It might have something to do with another house. Oh. Well, that's okay, so there's Emperor energy that's charted for change. How does that relate to this Ace of Cups? Very interesting. Okay. Well, it's your... Wow. A new commitment. Or, no, what am I saying? A new commitment. Just more charted events. These are definitely connected. Possibly a marriage, possibly a divorce. Well, it's in the upright though. It's in the upright. So something's not over. Something is being initiated. And it's charted. So does it have to do with this Ace of Cups then? This also is spiritual, deep spiritual enlightenment. But we have the opportunity here. Opportunity in the 12th house. So opportunity to do something and become something quite prophetically important, which is okay, well, let's see what else comes through, because I'll cross-reference that as we go. I'm going to move to your air story. Your 11th, 7th, and 3rd houses. The 11th house in Aquarius, which is co-ruled by Uranus and Saturn. And it is the house, as Susan says, of friends. It says friends on the card if the camera's not picking up on the print clearly enough. Also humanitarianism. These are all networking cards, community cards. This will have everything to do with what you want to do for the greater good, the bigger causes. Also technology and innovation and geekiness and inventiveness. Yes. The 7th house in Libra, so the justice and partnerships card, systems card, long-term partnerships, anything, not just romantic relationships. And this is ruled by Venus, all that Libran energy. And then the 3rd house of Mercury and Gemini, so magician energy, communication, knowledge. This is knowledge and what you want to do with knowledge in the 11th house, but 3rd house knowledge. So, and you also have the lover's energy, the passion energy, but the ethics energy attached to Gemini. What your speech style is like, communication style, messages coming in, as the card says. So let's go to the other half of the deck and let's see what's coming through for you, Sagittarius. Okay, so I want to leave him kind of sideways there. He didn't come out straight upright, and he didn't come out straight in reverse. Knight of Swords. Torn between sharp words or protective action or fast action, which is because he's the fastest moving knight. This is slapping, so I'll keep it. 3 of Wands. Having faith something's coming in. Waiting for someone. Waiting for someone. Now, if we tie that Wands energy to the Wands energy of the Emperor in reverse, this flew out on the floor. Death card. Some kind of transformation in your magician energy in your 3rd house. So some kind of rebirth. Well, no, that would be judgment. So just transformation scheduled. That would have everything to do with that Emperor in reverse in the 4th house. So something to do with, oh no, Emperor in reverse is in the 8th house, right? Yeah. Okay, so here we have your 8th house and your 3rd house, because death is Scorpio energy. So that is 8th house energy. And we have divine timing in both of those houses, plus the Hierophant, divine timing in the 4th house. So something close to home. So what you know, who you know, things are going through a major shakeup, and there is waiting on the manifestation of something which probably has you stuck for what to do, what to say. Interesting. Okay, the story builds. Let's leave the air story and progress to your earth story. See what your finances are like, your career is like. 10th house in Capricorn. Your reputation, your career ruled by Saturn. 6th house in Virgo, ruled by Mercury again. So routines, but workplaces, the way this is, career can be bigger picture, things that you should be doing with your life, not just what you are doing with your life. But 6 is primarily where you spend your time and do your work, and how happy you are with that, if it suits you or not. Is it, you look to the 10 first, then the 6 and the 2 to see if they're all working together. Does the workplace serve the career? And then your 2nd house in Taurus with Venus energy ruling, your cash flow, your relationship with money. I like to work in descending orders. get those bigger picture issues. So, okay. Wow. Okay. Jupiter energy. Just a ton, Sagittarius. A ton. That's your own energy because Jupiter rules you. So it's in reverse. So something, I mean, at least the wheel keeps turning. The wheel keeps turning. So yes, with the transformation to that Emperor in reverse. So there is some kind of identity issue tied to this transformation. Okay. Sixth house. Okay, so sixes, we have a 6 in the 6, but in reverse, which is tying with this. So there's a, I look at sixes as gifts from the universe, from God, shall we say, from guides. In this case, in the Pentacles energy, which is interesting because we're in your Pentacles reading, your Earth reading. So some kind of gift either has been turned down or hasn't come through yet, and it needs to come through. It's being held back. It's being held back, maybe because we need a right plan. We need to take the right action of the 5 of Pentacles. So this is affecting your routines, at least your living routines, if not your work routines. And what's affect? Let's see. Okay. Wow. Okay, so that Ace of Cups, this is 2 aces. We have an Ace of Pentacles. So we have this opportunity, which makes sense with transformation. What's the point of transformation if it doesn't bring opportunities, right? So I'm going to say this opportunity, this Ace of Pentacles, must have something to do with the Hierophants. And then, I guess, is it contingent on, is this contingent on that? Well, I would say everything's contingent on the divine timing. So it might look like, I'm just waiting to see if I'm talking too fast and missing any messages. Not yet. No. Big wheel. Big wheel. Okay. Let's go to the last story for any further clarity. And the camera cut off. But then we have the Aries house, the first house of self, the Fool's house. The it starts where your rising sign starts. And you might have more than one sign in your first house, depending on what system you use. I use Placidus, so I have actually my first house runs from Scorpio through Sagittarius into Capricorn, halfway into Capricorn. So I consider myself to have 3 rising signs because that's my core self. That's my first house. So whatever personality traits you have, your essence. So what's going on in Sagittarius' own house? Wow. Yeah, okay. That's that Emperor in reverse. That 10 of Wands in reverse. In your head, because it goes back to the 9 of Wands, the wounded warrior with the bandaged head in his thoughts. We're just minus completion. So something, well, yeah, if you're going through a transformation, let's switch. What's going on in the 5th? Yeah, okay. 4 of Swords in reverse, leading back to 3 of Swords, which can be doing the right thing again. So there we have that 6 going back to the 5, needing to do the right thing, come up with the right plan. But we have air energy in your creativity, your 5th house. And we have a wounded, the 10 leading back to the 9 of that wounded warrior in his head. So your drive is being interrupted. We've got the stops on. But, I mean, if the 4 were upright, it's a pause button. For me, 4s are like the pause button. They can be called healing energy, but they're the risk of taking that time out is that it can sometimes go on indefinitely, and it takes a calamity to pull you out of it, right? We don't always want to come out of healing mode. So you're kind of stuck more in the pain than in the apathy or complacency, and that's good. You can do a lot with pain if you figure out to do that. What's going on in Aries? There's so much that's going on that's scheduled for you. Okay, things are just falling apart here. And that's probably no accident. There we have a 4. 2 4s. Okay, so you're not so much in your thoughts, but you're in your feels. And you're holding off on accepting guidance. Yeah, that Knight of Swords sideways. I mean, if you've got the Wheel in reverse and you've got Death card, is it coming in as a block to this Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Cups? Do we have some natural resistance then? Because your identity, yeah. We've got that 3 of Wands in the partnership, so we're torn between waiting on someone and waiting on and trusting God and carrying on with things in the meantime. Indecisive, or trying to not say the things. That Hierophant could be stressing you out. You don't know what to believe. So do you need to exert your own temperance energy? This Ace of Cups in the 12th house. The Ace of Cups versus the 4 of Cups. It's being offered to you. You have a guide that's trying to, or you have several guides that are trying to restore you. It needs new direction, new life. Let's take that Ace of Cups as new life. There's a lot that's coming with it, and it's daunting. It's just daunting. And if that Hierophant's bringing in a new partnership, it's all on schedule though. There's so much heavy schedule in here. So really there's the temperance, your own energy of temperance, and allowing for timing. What can you do about your feelings in the meantime? Why don't you could make notes about everything. Talk to yourself. Because yes, there are 2 aces here. And really, the question is, how much free will do you have in this? Or do you have to make the best of it? Yep, let's check back soon. Okay, Sagittarius?